The story begins with Robert driving through the deserted streets of New York in his Mercedes with his beloved dog, Sim. Robert had come out to hunt today because his food supplies had completely run out. Suddenly, a herd of deer appears in front of his car. Robert sees his prey and immediately chases the herd with his vehicle. After driving some distance, he encounters a road blocked by abandoned cars. Left with no choice, he gets out and continues on foot. After walking for a while, Robert reaches a deserted alley where a deer that had strayed from its herd is standing. Robert is about to shoot the deer when suddenly a lion attacks and kills him. Moments later, another lion and its cub also appear. Robert had a gun with which he could have killed the lions, but he doesn't. Seeing the three of them reminds him of his own dead family, so he chooses not to fire. Upon returning home, Robert takes out some chemicals from his car and sprays them on the stairs of his house so that the creatures cannot pick up his scent. After that, he goes inside and starts preparing dinner for himself. As soon as it gets dark, Robert closes all the windows and doors of the house and turns off all the lights. Robert and Sim were hiding fearfully in the bathroom due to the terrifying sounds outside. Suddenly, Robert falls asleep and begins dreaming about that horrific day 3 years ago when the government ordered the evacuation of New York. At that time, Robert could not save his wife and daughter. They had turned into zombies. He blames himself for their deaths. To keep himself fit, Robert works out at home. Then he goes down to his underground secret lab, located right beneath his house. Robert is actually trying to create an antidote for this deadly virus. Since he himself is immune to the virus, he is making a vaccine from his own blood. He tests it on infected mice. Unfortunately, the vaccine has no effect on most of the mice. However, there is one mouse on which the vaccine shows some effect. It slowly starts recovering, and its natural color begins returning. Seeing this, a new hope awakens in Robert's heart. After that, Robert comes out of the lab, takes his rifle, and heads into the city. He reaches a mall where he collects food and supplies. He then waits there until evening, but as always, no one responds to his message. While spending time at the seaport, Robert spots a deer running on the street and once again sets out to hunt it. Sim chases the deer at full speed while Robert runs behind them. Eventually, the deer runs into a dense, dark building. Sim follows it inside the dangerous building. Seeing this, Robert becomes very worried because Darkseekers, zombies, live in such dark places during the day. Left with no choice, Robert has to go inside. He moves cautiously, searching for Sim with the help of his flashlight. Terrifying sounds echo from within the building, but for Sim's sake, he gathers courage and moves forward. A little further ahead, he sees the face of a dead animal in a corner. For a moment, Robert fears that Sim is no longer in this world. Fortunately, it is not Sim but the same deer. Robert breathes a sigh of relief. He musters more courage and moves ahead. But as soon as he peeks into one room, he is stunned by the sight. In the dark room, a large group of Darkseekers is standing together. As soon as he sees them, Robert quickly covers his flashlight with his hand. Luckily, their faces are turned toward the wall so they don't notice Robert. He narrowly escapes. Robert quietly exits and enters another room where he finds Sim hiding scared under a table. Robert quickly goes to him and urges him to leave, but Sim is so terrified that he is barely breathing. When Robert shines the flashlight into the darkness, he sees a Darkseeker lying in wait. The next moment, the Darkseeker lunges at Robert, but Robert shoots it without wasting a second and starts running away with Sim. The sound of the gunshots alerts all the other Darkseekers, who begin chasing Robert. On Robert's command, Sim escapes through a small hole, but then one Darkseeker grabs Robert. Robert breaks a window and jumps outside. As soon as the Darkseeker comes into the sunlight, its skin burns badly, and it dies in agony. Robert and Sim barely escape death. However, Robert doesn't run away immediately because he still needs a live zombie to test his newly made serum. He sets a trap at the building's entrance to catch a zombie. He places the dead zombie at the door as bait and covers it with a black cloth. Robert's plan is that the zombies, smelling the blood, will be drawn to the trap. His plan works perfectly, and one zombie gets caught in the trap, but then the zombie's companion comes forward to save it. However, due to the bright sunlight, it cannot step outside the door. Robert knocks the zombie unconscious and takes it to his lab. It is a female Darkseeker with a butterfly tattoo on her body. Robert injects her with his vaccine full of hope, but unfortunately, it has no effect. This leaves Robert deeply disappointed. The next morning, Robert leaves the house once again with new hope. As usual, he broadcasts his message on the radio. After waiting for hours at the seaport for any survivor, he starts heading back home when he notices someone standing in the middle of the road outside a building. Robert is startled. He drives closer and realizes it is not a real person, but a mannequin. Thinking this, Robert moves closer. First, he fires a shot from a distance to check for any danger. Then, he approaches the dummy. There is water spilled on the road around it. As soon as Robert steps on the water, a trap catches his legs, and he is left hanging upside down. The trap is exactly like the one Robert had set for the Darkseeker. Someone is using Robert's own trick against him. Due to a severe head injury, Robert loses consciousness. Sometime later, the alarm on his watch wakes him up. He sees that the sun is about to set and darkness is approaching. His dog Sim is barking continuously while staring at the dark building in front. Robert has a knife in his pocket. He somehow cuts the rope and falls to the ground. He injures his leg while falling. Then, some terrifying infected dogs come running toward him from the dark building. One dog attacks Robert, but he quickly grabs his gun from the car and shoots it. The dog dies on the spot, but the second dog overpowers Robert. The dog is about to bite him when, at the last moment, Sim jumps on the dog and saves Robert's life. Unfortunately, the infected dogs have badly bitten Sim. He is now seriously injured. Robert immediately carries him to the lab. He knows that because of the zombie dog bite, Sim has also been infected with the virus. He quickly injects Sim with his vaccine, hoping it will work on him. Robert then sits holding Sim in his arms like a child. But sadly, the vaccine has no effect on Sim either. Sim slowly starts turning into a bloodthirsty zombie. Seeing this, Robert is completely heartbroken. He cannot bear to see Sim suffering in this horrible pain. So, with a heavy heart, he puts Sim out of his misery forever. The next morning, Robert buries Sim's body with tears in his eyes. He cries a lot over the grave of his only companion. Now, Robert's anger toward the zombies has reached its peak. He doesn't return home that night because he wants revenge for Sim's death at any cost. Robert goes straight to the seaport and waits for darkness to fall. Soon, a large number of zombies arrive at the seaport. Seeing Robert sitting alone, they start running toward him. But suddenly, a bright light flashes from behind them. It is actually Robert's car headlights. The man sitting at the seaport was just a mannequin. Robert himself was hiding inside the car. Filled with rage, Robert begins crushing the zombies with his car. But he is outnumbered by the large group of Darkseekers. The Darkseekers together flip Robert's car, which ends up on the edge of falling into the sea. Robert is badly injured inside the overturned car. A bloodthirsty zombie approaches him, about to kill him, when suddenly another bright light flashes. Seeing the light, all the zombies get startled and run away. The person who saves Robert is an unknown woman. She quickly puts him in her car and drives away. On the way, the woman asks Robert, "Where do you live?" In pain, Robert tells her his home address. When Robert wakes up, he finds himself safely back in his own house. It is already morning. He notices that someone has stitched the deep wound on his leg. Then he hears the sound of utensils falling in the kitchen. He quickly grabs his gun and cautiously heads toward the kitchen. There, he sees the same woman who had saved his life last night. She has a young boy with her. Seeing them safe, Robert lowers his gun. Robert asks the woman, "Who are you, and where have you come from?" She replies, "My name is Anna, and this is Ethan. We came from my land. We heard your message on the radio. We reached the seaport you mentioned yesterday afternoon." Anna continues, "We are going to Vermont. There is a safe zone in the mountains where many survivors like us are still alive." Hearing this, Robert says, "You have wrong information. There is no safe zone left in this world, nor any other survivors." Anna tries to convince him again that there really is a safe place in the mountains. Robert goes outside and looks at the trap in which the zombie had caught him. He is surprised at how intelligent the zombies have become. They used his own trick against him. Later, Robert and Anna sit near a swimming pool while little Ethan happily splashes in the water. After years, Robert feels truly happy meeting living humans. While diving in the water, Ethan says, "This water is so cold." Hearing this, a light bulb goes off in Robert's mind. He remembers Anna saying that the virus cannot tolerate cold. Without wasting a second, he runs to his lab and lays the female zombie, whom he had captured for testing, on ice blocks. He lowers her body temperature and injects her with his new vaccine. For the first time, Robert feels that his vaccine might actually work. Meanwhile, Anna also enters the lab. She sees zombie pictures covering the walls. Shocked, Anna asks Robert what happened to all of them. Robert sadly replies that he had captured them only for vaccine testing, but they all died during the tests. Hearing this, Anna becomes alarmed. Soon, evening falls. Robert puts Ethan to sleep in his daughter's room, and as always, starts sealing all the windows and doors with metal plates before dark. Anna again tells Robert, "I would be very happy if you came with us to the survivor colony." Robert angrily asks, "How can you say with such certainty that there is a survivor colony? Who told you about it?" Anna calmly replies, "Whatever is happening in the world is God's will." Robert angrily says, "Listen carefully, Anna. There is no God left in this world, and none of this is God's doing. It is the result of humanity's own mistakes." Just as he finishes saying this, loud crashing and breaking sounds start coming from outside. Hearing the terrifying noises, Robert panics. He asks Anna anxiously, "When you brought me here after saving me from the zombies, was it already night?" Anna replies fearfully, "You were bleeding heavily. I had no choice but to bring you here in the dark of night." Hearing this, Robert feels the ground slip beneath his feet. He realizes the zombies must have followed Anna and found his house. He quickly looks out through a small window. The scene outside is horrifying. Hundreds of zombies are screaming and running straight toward his house. Anna immediately runs toward Ethan's room. Meanwhile, Robert turns on the powerful floodlights installed outside the house to stop the zombies. But the Darkseekers don't seem to care about their lives. They keep coming forward even while burning in the bright light. Robert runs and picks up a remote control. He had placed many cars loaded with bombs around the house for security. As soon as the horde of zombies reaches near the cars, Robert presses the button, causing a massive explosion. Hundreds of zombies are blown to pieces in the blast. Without caring for his own safety, Robert runs upstairs to save Anna and Ethan. But when he reaches there, he sees a bloodthirsty zombie has broken through the ceiling and entered the house. Anna and Ethan are hiding behind a cupboard, out of fear. Robert spots a gun nearby. Seeing the zombie, little Ethan screams in terror. The zombie notices them and lunges at them. Robert quickly grabs the gun and shoots the zombie dead. But as he looks out the window, he sees another large horde of zombies trying to break in. Among them is the same zombie who had seen Robert trap its companion. Robert immediately takes Anna and Ethan and runs to his secret lab in the basement, locking the door securely. Inside the lab, Robert and Anna see that his method has actually worked. Due to the cold from the ice, the female zombie is slowly starting to recover, but then the zombies outside break into the outer section of the basement. At that moment, Robert, Anna, and Ethan take shelter inside a bulletproof glass chamber. The entire horde of zombies starts banging violently on the strong glass, causing cracks to appear. It now seems impossible for the three of them to survive. Seeing this, Robert tries to shout through the glass that he has a vaccine for this disease and can cure them all, but the zombies, mad with rage, don't listen to him. Then their leader steps forward and strikes the bulletproof glass hard with his head. But suddenly, the leader stops. At his signal, all the other zombies go completely silent. The leader had drawn a butterfly-like shape on the glass with his hand. Seeing this, Robert remembers that the female zombie he captured also had a similar butterfly tattoo on her hand. In a flash, Robert understands that the zombies didn't come to attack, but to take their companion back. Robert immediately lowers his gun and removes all the medical equipment from the female zombie's body. He then asks Anna to open the glass door. Anna panics and says, "Have you gone mad? Don't open the door. They will kill us all." But Robert looks into her eyes and says calmly, "Just do as I say." With a heavy heart, Anna opens the door. Robert carefully hands the female zombie over to her companions. Robert feels a deep and bitter realization that these zombies were not mindless walking corpses. Although they were bloodthirsty, they still possessed full thinking and understanding abilities. Robert feels profound regret for his actions. He sincerely apologizes to the zombies from the bottom of his heart. Seeing Robert's changed behavior, the zombie leader spares his life. They quietly take their companion and leave. Robert now understands the importance of these zombies and decides to let them be. After this, Robert sets out on a new journey with Anna and Ethan to find the remaining survivors in this devastated world. And with this, the story ends.